we do know that the United States, Canada and the UK and France have targeted Putin expressly and some key Russian for what they've been doing in the war against Ukraine. And we feel it is important that there is no impunity for Israel. That's been part of the problem. It's had impunity from the beginning. There has been no attempt to stop weapons supply, or very little attempt. And now we're saying, really, this is so serious. The suffering is so appalling. I'm finding a lot of people are suffering themselves, witnessing what's happening and being unable to do anything about it. They're suffering mental health problems. This is nothing to the suffering in Palestine itself. And, it's just unconscionable that there has not been more attempt to stop the impunity, to provide sanctions, to stop arming, to take some real steps, which are now beginning.
President Trump has rightly chosen political dialogue over military action, for example, on Iran. But on Gaza, his Riviera plan has emboldened Netanyahu's government to pursue a dangerous endgame. We urge President Trump to change course and suspend U.S. arms transfer to Israel now. I think that would help very much to push a solution, as Mary mentioned, a long-term solution. In my case, and in the case of Northern Ireland, are examples of how non-state armed groups, terrorist groups, can be disarmed as part of a political settlement. I know from my own experience that it can seem easier to wage war than to make peace, but such intractable conflicts can never be resolved by military means alone.
It is distressing beyond belief to see Gaza sort of systematically divided up again, completely helpless people being shuffled from one place to another, always in danger, to see the humanitarian crisis of people on the brink of starvation. And I think, the frustration we have is that the world watches, and there's denunciations now coming from, very powerful G7 countries, but nothing seems to stop the carnage.
The elders are slow to use the word genocide, but we are seeing significant evidence, this blocking for so long of access to food, and then allowing a dribble of food. And it's a dribble that's going in at the moment, nothing adequate. And babies are dying, elderly people are dying, people are starving with hunger. That's man-created. It is truly horrific. And the bombardment, the constant killing that's going on. So we believe that it's courts that determine, but as Juan Manuel said, we mustn't wait for that. We must stop possible genocide. That's in the Genocide Convention. We have to be very aware of the need for a political way forward. And the only way forward is the two-state solution. And that requires the recognition of Palestine. That would be a game changer if France, the United Kingdom, and other countries in Europe would recognize the state of Palestine as my country, and Spain and Norway and Slovenia did recently. That is the important thing.
One of the terrible consequences of what is happening is precisely the children that grow up in Israel and in Palestine, what their perception is going to be. And that's why these exercises like the one Mary mentioned, of bringing the two parts together and showing that they can live together and they can share a common future, that has to be done urgently, and that would sow the future peace. Otherwise, the hatred and the revenge will be everlasting, and that's what we all not want.